everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll talk to you again at halftime. But for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway from the City Beautiful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The spotlight shines on quarterback Carson Wentz as he and the Eagles take the field. This is a crew that is now 3-3. Had a chance to get to 4-2, but they lost to Minnesota in Week 6. Charles, you saw this game, and Carson Wentz, he'd had 4 straight weeks of a sub-60% completion percentage. He did pick up the pace, but it's a loss.
It's a loss because they couldn't run the ball as effectively as they had been in previous weeks, because that Minnesota defense is so stout up front. But I thought Carson Wentz played awfully well. Despite the pressure he was under, he used his legs more, and probably more than what Philadelphia fans wanted to see with the injuries he's had. But he exited the pocket, ran for first downs, kept plays alive, and brought his team back from a big deficit to give them a chance.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Wentz. This one complete to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's Sproles. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Mike, here we go. Waiting! You don't see me in your nightmare, son.
Wentz now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
From the red zone now, Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is third and short. Working from the gun, Wentz. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. As Deshaun Watson brings out the Texans offense, let's discuss Week 6. What a game. Houston and Kansas City. Houston winning at 31-24. Matchup, obviously, at 2 of the NFL's young guns, 2 guys from the 2017 draft class, in Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and Watson went 12th overall. Patrick Mahomes 10th, because you remember Kansas City traded way up to get him. And you remember what Andy Reid said the week of the game? I really liked Deshaun Watson. I loved Patrick Mahomes. And he meant no disrespect with that. But you and I both know that Deshaun Watson heard that and said, okay, I'll show you. You should have taken me 280 yards and a touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns, which helped provide the margin of victory.
And he'll find Akins there, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson, and this one complete to Will Fuller. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Let's go.
First down, a run with Hyde. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Week 6 for Carlos Hyde was a big one. It was the Carlos Hyde redemption game let go by the Chiefs just before the start of the season, and he showed them 26 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown in that big victory. From the 45 on 2nd down, Watson out to the flat for Hyde. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Watson. He's got Fuller. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Watson. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll run for it with Hyde. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Did your high school have that saying, push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed them back at the last snap of the ball, and, boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. Hyde is the lone man in the backfield here on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here? Well,
to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Eagles take the field again, and I want to revisit what we said earlier about their start now at 3-3. Not an amazing beginning of the season, but hey, there's still time for the lead in the NFC East. Big one Sunday night, Week 7 at Dallas, and head coach Doug Peterson, he already said, hey, we're going to go down to Dallas, we're going to be ready to play, and we're going to win that football game. What do you make of the comment?
I think that Doug Peterson is telling his team that he still believes in them. You know what a tough market it is in Philadelphia. You know what it's like with expectations around the league, that this is a Super Bowl-ready roster, and they're at 3-3. He wants that team to know that he believes in them and that they're still talented enough to go out and get it done. And in a sense, putting himself on the line and trying to take the pressure off of his players, because you know what kind of questions they're going to face all week going into that. He wants all those questions to be directed to him.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A quick pass out to Aguilar. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now it's Sproles. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
From the 45 on second down. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. This one complete to Sproles. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. As the Texans take the field here again, I'm looking down at the AFC South right now. Houston at 4-2, Colts 3-2, the Jags and Titans 2-4. This is going to be very intriguing as the season unfolds.
It certainly is, and think about the upcoming schedule now for Houston because they're at Indy, division rival, and they'll be battling for first place down the stretch. Home to Oakland, and let's face it, that game has changed dynamics, hasn't it? We thought that was going to be a pretty easy victory for them when the season started. No longer. Oakland playing pretty good football, and then they head across the pond to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, another division game.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. You got tape. You got tape.
Now it's Watson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. His throw incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Watson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. To the air yet again. Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the Eagles' 39-yard line.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the 2nd half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A throw out wide to QT, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And down he'll go at the 25. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
A short game that doesn't get him the first down, brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now, Wentz again. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. That's Aguilar with it on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check 41. Watch the run. They're running it.
On 2nd down now. It's Howard trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Wentz, and he connects with Ertz. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They go counter with Howard and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Again, it's Howard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for the end zone. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey there to make the grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
someone
well.
else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Watson on target here to Fuller, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet. Not
a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, it's Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson finding falls complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. But it's going to be 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Well, here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Watson now to throw. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it third and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And no, it's incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, just was unsuccessful.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Trying the right side with Howard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Here we go. 180! Watch the twist.
Now Wentz on third down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. "51 yards on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson and the Texans now down by 2 touchdowns. A little over a minute and a half remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Watson going to throw again. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
He finds his running back, Hyde. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
They wound up getting nothing out of that 2nd down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.